Welcome to the another episode of Abstract Thesis series. In this series, we are digging deep into the Power BI concepts. If you have not subscribed, subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon so that you can get notification for our new video. Welcome to another episode of Abstract Thesis series. In this series, we are digging deep into the concepts of Power BI, and right now we are looking into the tenant settings. So let's jump on to the Power BI tenant settings. So how to reach Power BI tenant setting, that we can click on the three dots available on the right top, and then we can reach admin portal. Now in the admin portal, the settings we are now interested in are the settings which are integration setting. Now first integration setting which we look into, this one is allow XMLA endpoints and analyze in Excel and on-premise data set. This is what the setting we are looking forward. And to understand this, first of all, let's understand this XMLA endpoint. So for that, I have searched this article, and this is available if you search what is XMLA endpoint. So Power BI Premium and Power BI per user and Power BI embedded workspace support open platform connectivity from Microsoft and the third-party client application tools using XMLA endpoint. Now, not only Microsoft support, there are a few other companies which also support this XMLA endpoint, and using the XMLA endpoint, you will be able to integrate the data across various applications. So if the data is available as the XMLA endpoint, then you can read that data into this one. So there is a very good article you can read about around it, but there is a setting to enable this. The setting is allow XMLA endpoint and analyze in Excel with on-premise dataset. Users in the organization can use Excel to view and interact with the on-premise Power BI datasets, and also allow connection to XMLA endpoints. Now in Excel also you can directly analyze this. Excel is there, and definitely now these days what happen in the newer version, you can directly see under the data tab in Excel, directly you can see the connection for Power BI, and you can use that once you have I think it get enabled once you got your analyze in Excel enabled here, so you can use that. So that is the one thing which is there, and then XMLA endpoint so enabled, and we have enabled this setting, and it is advised that you should enable it unless your organization policy ask you to disable this. Now second one is use ArcGIS map for Power BI visual. Now ArcGIS map can have the implications of licensing. So if you are the organization having the corresponding license, so please read this, by selecting enabling, you agree to ArcGIS map for Power BI. Maybe use ESRI services located outside your Power BI tenant geographical region, compliance boundary, or the national cloud instance. So these all things are there. So there are compliance things, there could be a licensing thing. So just be aware before you enabling this setting. We have right now enabled it. Now use global search for Power BI enabled. By selecting and enabling, you agree that users use Azure search external search indexes. So you are enabling that. If you are using this setting, ideally you should enable this. Use Azure Map Visual. Azure Map Visual is another setting where you are allowing people to use Azure Map Visual. Right now we are enabled, but you can enable this setting. It is disabled in our case. By selecting enabled, you agree that Azure Map Visuals may use Azure services located outside your Power BI tenant and geographical region. Again, Azure Map Azure Map Visual can use the outside thing. It could be compliance issue, and there are other things also, like third party TomTom integration is there. So just look at it before you enable what your compliance policies say. Now integration with SharePoint and Microsoft List. Now this is very common thing which you do in your organization. You do analysis on Microsoft List or SharePoint List. So users in the organization can launch Power BI from Microsoft List and SharePoints and List and Microsoft List. They can build Power BI reports on the data for those lists, publish them back to the list. Now this is both way interaction if you wanted to enable this, and we have enabled it. This lot of stuff is done around Microsoft SharePoint and Microsoft List. So advised is that you enabled it unless your organization policy asks not to do so. Now Snowflake SSO is available, and if you want to enable this, you have a setting for this. If you want to do that, you need to enable this setting. for to have single sign-on integration. So enable SSO capability for Snowflake by enabling user can access token information including the name, email will be sent to the Snowflake for the authentication. So SSO of Snowflake you can enable. Similarly for Redshift, now you have option enable SSO capabilities for Redshift by enabling user access token information including the name and email will be sent to the Redshift. Now, other than that, the final setting which is there under this umbrella is Azure AD single sign-on for the gateway. Enable Azure Active Directory SSO via the on-premise data gateway for applicable data sources by enabling user access token information including the name, email will be sent to the data sources for authentication. So again, 3 sign-on enablement. If you want to integrate with those application, remember this is sign off of those application, not this application. So you are trying to integrate with that, and then that integration will send in the information there. So you need to be aware if you wanted to do, if your organization policy allows that, do go ahead and do those things. So your email and this one will be sent, and then those application will authenticate you because of the single sign-on which has been enabled at both the ends. So go ahead and take the advantage of these settings. Do let us know what else you wanted to cover in this series. Thanks for watching this video. Thank you. Keep watching, keep asking questions in comments, subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon so that you can get notification for new videos. Thank you.